Hello everyone, welcome in. Welcome in, night dwellers. Hello, hello, hello. I was having a few TikTok malfunctions, but we got it figured out. Welcome in to Twisted Tales Live. Who is ready for a dark short story? You're ready, you think? Hey, who's that girl? Hey, Shirley. Hey, Pamela. Hello, beautifully mixed 81. Welcome in. Hello, Goddess Lovely. Karen, thank you. Welcome in. Let's please repost, share the live, and share it to your story, please. Hey, Peaches. Hey, Amy. Oh, who's that girl? Be careful. Hello, Pink. Are you still sick? Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry. Do you have the flu? Hey, Bunny. Hey, Jackie. Welcome in. Hey, Karen. Hey, Bunny Love Galore. How are you? Thank you for sharing the live. Hey, Sandy. Let's tap, tap, tap. Hey, X. Good. Hello, Viking Wolf. Hey, Melanie. Hey, Kim. Hey, Palm. Welcome in to Twisted Tales Live. I am your host, Bryn Morgan. Do you like scary stories? Hey, Julie. Awesome. Now this is going to be a different experience than Paranormal Falls Live, where there's lots of interaction, lots of questions. This is a more laid-back format to where you just sit back and relax and listen, and you can chat with your fellow night dwellers and discuss the story. Hey, Peaches. No, I don't. I don't dress up on Paranormal Falls Live. Oh, really? It reminds you of where you live? Oh, I do look way different on this channel. Black wig. Karen, thank you for joining the fan club. Hey, Siamese. No crown. It won't show up on the background. Thank you, Viking Wolf. Much appreciated. Do, do, do. Is everyone reposting, sharing? Isn't it great? Hey, Raybab. Yes, Viking Wolf. How are you doing? Have you reposted? Have you shared? Have you told someone about this live? Do you know someone that likes a scary story? If everyone in here would send this out, share this out to 5, 10 friends, you might get one friend, maybe 2, that will come in and want to hear the story. Tonight is a short story written by me called Marked. Marked, you say? What does that mean? You're about to find out. Hey, Pamela. Thank you for sharing the live. Hello, Merc Junior 3. How are you? Four minutes. Thank you, Viking Wolf. Hey, Tara. I see those numbers climbing. Hey, it's just me. Hello, Kelly. Thank you for the rose. Welcome in. I'm excited about this story. One thing that Twisted Tales Live has allowed me to do is really express my creativity, to really go places in my mind that I haven't went before, especially with stories like Cherry Hill, Crimson Queen, Blood and Snow. All of those have really opened me up and took me places in my mind that I didn't know I could go. And now, with these short stories that are coming into play, I'm excited. Let's finish up this story. Hello, the Rose. Hello, Justine. Hey, Andrew. Hello, Amber. You are right on time, Amber. Right on time, Justine. You are hearing this short story for the first time ever. As I've been writing these stories, I've taken all of your suggestions into mind, believe it or not, over the past year, stories that you wanted to hear. And I decided, Bryn, why not put your own spin on them? And so here we are tonight. My first short story that I'm going to share with you is called Marked. Marked for what? You're about to find out. Here on Twisted Tales Live, we do things differently, don't we, Night Dwellers? Lower your lights. Lock your doors. Light a candle for ambiance, or to chase those shadows away. Pull your curtains nice and tight. Wrap yourself in your warmest blanket to avoid the chills that are about to crawl up your spine. And let's begin. Good evening. Welcome to Twisted Tales Live. I am the Night Queen. This is the Night Realm. You are my Night Dwellers. And tonight I am going to tell you a story so dark, so chilling. A story made of nightmares. Are you ready? Let's see it in the comments. Thank you for the perfumes. Thank you, Amy. Julie says, I think so. Thank you for the friendship necklace. It has indeed ebony eyes. Music good? Two people, let me know. Oh, thank you. That is beautiful. Then we are ready. Tonight, I'm taking you somewhere the wind doesn't dare speak. Somewhere ancient. Somewhere that remembers. When this land that you see in the photo belonged to things that walked on four legs, and sometimes two. Tonight, you're mine. And I'm going to tell you about desperation, about the choices that we make when the bills pile up and no one's coming to save us, about taking a job that we shouldn't take because we have no other choice. I'm going to tell you about the Navajo Nation, about the high desert, about red rock formations that cast shadows even at midnight. I'm going to tell you about traditions older than this country, about warnings passed down through the generations, about things that wear skin the way you and I wear clothes. The Navajo people don't speak of these things lightly. Even saying the name can draw attention, can make you visible. Tonight, I'm going to tell you about something that wears faces, like we wear masks. The Navajo people have a name for it. Yenolushi. Translated into the one who walks on all fours. But you, night dwellers, you can call it what the tourists call it. Skinwalkers. This is the story of a girl named Chelsea Charisse, 22 years old, broke, desperate, alone. And one night, in one single night, she learned that some jobs are not worth any amount of money. But by then, once she realized the terrible mistake that she'd made, it was too late. September 2019, Flagstaff, Arizona. Chelsea Charisse lived in a studio apartment on the south side of town. the cheap side. The side where college students and single mothers lived paycheck to paycheck. Her studio apartment was cramped and small, always in disarray. An unmade twin bed against one wall, a tiny kitchenette with dishes in the sink, a desk covered in past due bills with red final notice stamped visible, worn carpet, one small window showing gray daylight. It was a typical single woman's apartment. 400 square feet, one room. She hated it. But what was she supposed to do? She was going to school to be a park ranger. She had a kitchenette with 2 burners and a mini fridge that hummed way too loud. A bathroom so small that you had to stand sideways in it to close the door. Her desk was not really a desk. It was just a folding table from Walmart. It was covered in bills. The electric bill past due, final notice, would be turned off next Friday. A student loan payment past due. A credit card, maxed out. Minimum payment of $47. Chelsea didn't have $47 to pay it. On top of that, her rent was due in 5 days. $650 for this dump, she thought. She had $93 in her checking account, and that was for groceries and gas. Chelsea Cherise was 22 years old, had just turned 22. She was a community college student in her 2nd year, studying to be a park ranger because she loved the outdoors, because she'd grown up hiking with her dad before he got sick. Her parents lived in Tucson. Her dad was on disability. Her mom was working 2 jobs at the Dollar General and at Walmart. They couldn't help her. They could barely help themselves. She had tried working for different places, but with her school schedule, it was just tough. She had no siblings, no boyfriend. Well, she'd been seeing a few guys, but nothing serious. No one that she could trust. No one that she could ask for money. She was alone, and she was drowning in debt. She left her classroom and was walking down the hallway, her tennis shoes squeaking on the floor. She was walking past a bulletin board and saw a sign. It was a Tuesday morning in September. Chelsea walked through the hallways of Conoco Community College after her wildlife management class, and something drew her to the bulletin board. A poster in red and green. Help wanted. Like the outdoors, like nature, this is the perfect job for you. On the bottom of it, there were phone numbers, and all you had to do was pick one. She took it. She looked at it. What jumped out at her more than anything was it said $18 an hour. Nights and weekends. It was professional looking. There was no reason for her not to think that it was legit. It said, park ranger, night shift, Monument Valley Visitor Center, $18 an hour, nights and weekends. Call for immediate interview. Her eyes widened as she walked down the hallway toward the front entrance. She grabbed her cell out of her pocket. 18 freaking dollars an hour? She said out loud. She was thinking, calculating. Her thought process was crazy at the moment. She could pay out the bills, get some things that she needed. If she worked and she didn't mind nights and weekends a bit, she would certainly be making more money than she was making at Ulta. She could pay her rent, pay her bills, hopefully keep her electricity from being turned off, and eat something other than damn ramen noodles. She hated them. They began to look like worms in her bowl. Night shift. Nights and weekends. That meant Friday nights, Saturday nights, Sunday nights. The nights the normal 22-year-olds went out and had fun and lived. But Chelsea wasn't normal. Chelsea was broke. She pulled out her phone once she left the building. She called the number. It rang twice. A man answered. Monument Valley Ranger Station, this is Trevor. She almost hung up. Hi, I'm calling about the job posting, for the night shift ranger position. The voice on the other line immediately seemed interested. Oh, perfect. Yeah, we're, desperate to fill that position. Are you a student? Did you see that poster that I put on the bulletin board? Yes, I'm at Cogneo Community College, second year. I'm studying to be a park ranger, actually, so, I mean, this would be perfect experience for me. Trevor's voice was too fast. That's great. That's really great. Listen, are you free this afternoon? Did you say your name was Chelsea? Can you come in for an interview, say, 3 p.m.? Chelsea was surprised. This afternoon? Yeah. She was only getting 6 hours a week at Ulta, so she needed this job. Yeah, I can do that. Trevor sealed it. Perfect. Monument Valley Ranger Station? You know where it is? Main office. Just put it in your GPS. I'll see you at 3. Click. Trevor hung up. He'd hung up before she could ask any questions, before she could ask what the job actually entailed, before she could ask why they were so desperate to fill it. She would think that if you had a position in Monument Valley Ranger Station that you would stay put. But she didn't care. She needed this job. She needed it. Three o'clock p.m. came. Chelsea pulled into the parking lot of the Monument Valley Ranger Station. During the day, Monument Valley was absolutely beautiful. She never seen anything quite like it. She smoothed her hair down, took a deep breath. It was stunning. Tourists everywhere, RVs, families, people taking selfies with the red rock formations in the background. The ranger station was modern, well maintained, professional. Nothing scary about it. Nothing that made you think twice. Sarah checked her reflection in the rearview mirror one more time. She changed into khakis and a button-up shirt, tried to look professional, put on some makeup, pulled her dark hair back in a ponytail. She needed this job. She could do this. A park ranger, that's what she wanted to be anyway. She walked inside. The office was small. A desk, some filing cabinets, posters about leave no trace and fire safety on the walls. A man stood up from behind the desk. He was in his early 30s, sandy blonde hair, a park ranger uniform that fit too well, like he was trying to look good in it. A cocky smile, leaning against a desk with his arms crossed in a casual but controlling posture. His expression was friendly, but with an edge of arrogance and inappropriate interest. The kind of guy who makes women feel uncomfortable. Trevor started assessing her immediately as she walked toward the desk. Chelsea? Sarah? Yes, hi. Nice to meet you. I'm Chelsea Charisse. He's looking at her wrong. He walked around the desk, extended his hand, but he wasn't looking at her face. He was looking at everything else. They shook hands. His handshake lasted too long. His hand was warm, slightly sweaty. He was inappropriate immediately with her. Well, you're definitely too pretty for this job. Chelsea's skin crawled, but she forced a smile. She needed this job. Well, I've got bills that need to be paid, and I'm a hard worker. I promise. Trevor gestured to a chair. Sit. Let's talk. So she sat. He sat on the edge of the desk, looking at her. Not behind it, on it, close to her, invading her space. He was playing with the pen, casually, snapping it on and off, on and off. So, night shift. The visitor center's about 45 minutes from here. It's out on the reservation, pretty isolated. You okay with that? Chelsea nodded. Yeah, absolutely. Trevor looked at her. His stare was intense. It's 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Sometimes Sunday. You'll be alone out there. Just you. Can you handle being alone, Chelsea? Chelsea's voice was confident. I can handle it. Trevor leaned forward, and he was smiling. You got a boyfriend? I mean, those are prime date nights. Friday, Saturday, pretty girl like you. I'm sure you've got plans on the weekends. It was the way that he said, pretty girl, like he was tasting the words, like he was imagining things. Chelsea was going to keep it professional, though, but she was very uncomfortable. Oh, no, that won't be a problem. I'm not seeing anyone seriously, and I really need this job. Trevor raised his eyebrows, and he was smirking. Not seeing anyone? Seriously? So, you're seeing people casually? He was flirting, inappropriately, and Chelsea knew it, and he knew it, but he didn't care. He was flirting with her during a job interview. This wasn't appropriate. This wasn't professional. But again, Chelsea needed the job. So she smiled, tight-lipped, and she ignored the question. So I'm definitely interested. Can you tell me more about the position? What would I be doing exactly? Trevor just waved his hand dismissively. Oh, it's easy. You're basically just there. Present, deterrent. We've had some vandalism lately. Someone needs to be on site. You do some light administrative work, inventory, answer the phone if it rings, which you won't. I mean, you're going to be out there from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning. It's easy money. So, was there someone else that was in this position before? Do you mind if I ask why they quit? He was older. He just wanted to be with his family. Trevor's smile faltered, just for a second. Something flickered behind his eyes. Discomfort, perhaps annoyance with her question. Yeah, Marcus, he was in his 40s, personal reasons, family stuff. Nothing to do with the job, though. He was lying. Chelsea could tell that he was lying, but she didn't push it. So Trevor stood up. He held out his hand. Tell you what, I like you. You seem capable. I'll give you a 30-day probation period. I'll start you out at 18. And if you work out, we'll bump you up to 20 after the probation. $20 an hour? Again, Chelsea was overwhelmed with the amount of money that she could be making here. She would be able to get out of debt. She could breathe. She sat up straighter in her chair. When do I start? Trevor grinned. He was victorious. Well, I would have you do it tomorrow night, but I'll have to get you a uniform Thursday. I'll have Gerald, one of our senior rangers, meet you out there at 8:45 p.m. He'll show you the ropes. Your shift will start at 9. He walked away from the desk and walked over to a filing cabinet and pulled out a manila folder. He slid some paperwork across the desk. Your typical W-4, I-9, emergency contact form. Chelsea filled them out quickly. Her hand was shaking slightly from excitement, from relief. She couldn't wait to tell her mom and dad. Trevor walked over and extended his hand again. Welcome to the team, Chelsea. He shook her hand, and then another handshake. And this time, his thumb rubbed across the back of her hand. Slow, deliberate. She pulled her hand away, grabbed her purse, and stood up. Her voice was professional. She wanted to get away from him as quickly as possible. Thanks again for hiring me, taking a chance on me. I'll see you tomorrow night. Trevor hollered out as she was leaving. I'm looking forward to it. The way he said it, looking forward to it, not looking forward to having an employee, looking forward to seeing her. Chelsea walked out and got in the car. She sat there for a moment. She was feeling a lot of mixed feelings. Her new boss made her uncomfortable, made her skin crawl. She certainly did not want to see him again, but she knew that was inevitable. But she had a job. $18 an hour, 40 hours a week. She could pay her rent. She could eat. She hadn't had a pizza in months. She could handle Trevor. She could handle anything for $18 per hour. What she didn't know, what Trevor hadn't told her, was why Marcus had really quit. What she didn't know was that the visitor center where she'd be working had been empty for a week. 1 week without anyone there. 1 week that no one had been at the ranger station on the reservation. 1 week for something to notice. 1 week for something to get hungry. "6:30 p.m. Chelsea's apartment. She sat cross-legged on her bed, her phone on speaker, propped up against a pillow. The bills on her desk didn't look quite so threatening anymore. She would be able to dwindle them down. Her parents were on speakerphone. Her mom's voice came through the phone, warm, familiar, the voice that had sung her to sleep when she was little. "So tell us about this job, Mia. What will you be doing?" Chelsea was excited. "It's a park ranger position, Mom, at Monument Valley. Night shift at the visitor center. It's $18 an hour, and since it's nights and weekends, I get overtime." Chelsea did the math over and over on the back of an envelope as she was driving away, on her phone calculator, in her head while she was driving home. She figured it up. She would be making well over $2,000 a month. She could pay off her credit card, catch up on her student loans. "Mom, Dad, I'm telling you, this is the perfect position for me. And as soon as I've got some extras set aside, I'll send some to you. It will help with Dad's medication. Oh, and if I'm really good at it, he's going to put me on a 30-day probation. He's going to bump me up to $20 an hour, Mom, Dad." "And I want to help you. I want to help y'all." Her dad spoke up, warm, gruff, proud. "Chelsea, no. You take care of yourself first, young lady. You hear me? Your mother and I will be just fine. We always are. Your father's right, honey. Don't worry about us. Just take care of yourself. I was scared when you moved off on your own. hours away. But you're making a life for yourself. I'm proud of you. There was a pause. Chelsea could hear her mother breathing, could hear the TV in the background. The Wheel of Fortune, her dad's favorite. So, you haven't said anything about Dylan lately. Are you still seeing that boy? Chelsea's smile faded. Her chest tightened. That familiar ache, the one that lived right below her ribs, the one that showed up whenever she thought about Dylan. And the memory was brief, but painful. Dylan, 6 months. She thought, I don't know, she really thought that he might be the one. The way that he looked at her, the way he made her laugh, the plans they made. That was until she found him with someone else. She thought she would drive over and surprise him. It was his birthday. His door was unlocked. His roommate was there. She started heading back down the hallway toward his bedroom, and the roommate blocked it. You don't want to go in there, Charles. She had a sickening feeling in the pit of her stomach. Step aside. So he did. She walked in and found him in his bed with another girl. No, Mom. I haven't seen Dylan in weeks. Her voice became quieter. He's in the past. Her mother knew. She could hear it in Chelsea's voice. The pain, the disappointment. But she didn't push. So, Chelsea, this job at the visitor center, it's on the reservation? She could hear her mother's maternal concern. You're going to be out there alone? At night? Chelsea was defensive, but she was trying to sound confident. Yes, Mom, it's fine. It's just a visitor center. I'll be inside, doors locked. It's safe. Her mom didn't sound convinced. Worry bleeding through. I want you to be careful out there, Mia. The reservation at night, it's so isolated, so dark, and you're alone. Her voice broke slightly. I just want to make sure you're safe. When do you start? You said tomorrow night? Tomorrow night, Mom. Yes, Thursday. And Mom, I'll be fine. I promise. I'm 22 years old. You've got to trust me. I know what I'm doing. She whispered, almost to herself, but Chelsea heard it. Just please be safe out there. I don't like the idea of a young woman out on a reservation. Her dad spoke up then. His voice was stronger, defending her the way he always did. Chelsea is an intelligent, beautiful young lady with a good head on her shoulders, Mom. She'll be fine. We raised her right. Won't you, sweetheart? Yes, Dad. I'll be fine. I love you both. And I am going to send you money when I get a chance. I love you. And then they said goodbye. I love you. Be safe. Call us. The line went dead. Chelsea sat there for a moment. The apartment was suddenly very quiet. Too quiet. Just the hum of the mini bridge, the distant sound of traffic on the street below. She got up, brushed her teeth in the tiny bathroom, the fluorescent light above the mirror flickering, making a buzzing sound that got inside her head. She needed a new toothbrush. The bristles were too hard, making her gums bleed at times. She definitely needed a new one. She would put that on her list. The first thing that she would buy. Toothbrushes cost money. And now she would have it. She looked at herself in the mirror. There were dark circles under her eyes from worrying about the bills, student loans, Dylan, cheating. She'd been stressed, not sleeping well, worrying about money, about bills, about everything. But now she had a job. Things would get better. She climbed into bed. The sheets were clean. She'd washed them at the laundromat 3 days ago, but they were old, thin. The mattress underneath was cheap, lumpy, springs poking through in places. She pulled out her phone, opened Google, typed Monument Valley Visitor Center. The images began to load. Beautiful landscape photos, red rocks, blue skies, tourists smiling, families, RVs. Then she typed, Monument Valley at night. Different results registered. Darker. Stars. The Milky Way. Beautiful but empty. Vast. The rocks were just dark shapes against darker skies. There were no people in the photos, just the picture of the reservation station. Just that one building. Just rock and sky and darkness. But that was okay, because Chelsea liked the quiet. She liked solitude. She always had. Growing up, she'd been the kid who wandered off during family gatherings, who preferred the hiking trail to the mall, who'd rather sit by a campfire and roast marshmallows than go to a party. Being alone didn't scare her. It never had. She kept scrolling, found a Wikipedia article about Monument Valley, read about the Navajo Nation, the history, the sacred sites. She set her alarm. That would give her time to shower, eat, go to school, come back, take a nap, drive out to Monument Valley, and be there by 8:45 like Trevor had said. She plugged her phone in, turned off the lamp, and the room went dark. Complete darkness. Her apartment didn't have streetlights outside, just an alley, and it was dark. She could hear things, the building settling, someone walking in the apartment above her, footsteps, heavy, a door closing. Outside, a car drove past, music thumping, bass so loud she could feel it in her chest. She closed her eyes, breathed slow, in through her nose, out through her mouth, trying to relax. Her thoughts were excited. Tomorrow night, her first shift, $18 an hour. Things were finally looking up. Thursday, 7:00 a.m. Chelsea's alarm went off, buzzing, insistent. She fumbled for her phone and turned it off. She had class, wildlife management at 9 a.m., environmental science at 11. She couldn't skip, not when she was this close to finishing her degree. She called Ulta and told her ship manager she wouldn't be coming back. You're putting me in a very tight spot, Chelsea. I don't have anyone to watch the store tonight. I'm sorry. If you had given me more hours, maybe it would have been a different situation. She hung up the phone. She showered, got dressed, grabbed her backpack, drove to campus in the morning light. Everything normal, everything routine. She sat through lectures, took notes, her mind wandering, thinking about tonight, her first shift. Again, $18 an hour. During lunch, her phone rang. It was Trevor. He was too friendly on the phone. Hey, Chelsea, just wanted to check in before your first shift. You're still good for tonight, right? Yeah, I'm great. Okay, so, you're gonna do great. Remember, if the phone rings, you can answer it, but likely it will not. And you're gonna be here at 8:45. Yes, I'll be there at 8:45. Great. Oh, and hey, we got snacks and drinks at the station, water, coffee, some granola bars, chips. Help yourself. It's an employee perk. Snacks, free food. She wouldn't have to eat ramen in Tupperware. Wouldn't have to spend money that she didn't have. That's great. Thank you, Trevor. No problem. See you soon, Chels. She let the Chels slide. She hung up, went back to class. 3:00 p.m. Chelsea drove home, her apartment. The bills still on her desk, but they felt less heavy now. She took a nap. She set her alarm for 7 p.m. It was already done last night, but it's somehow been erased. So she checked it again, set it again, and made sure. She needed to be sharp tonight. Alert. She climbed into bed, still wearing her jeans and a t-shirt, just to nap. The apartment was warm. Sunlight coming through the windows. She could hear kids playing outside, a dog barking, normal afternoon sounds. She fell asleep quickly, dreamlessly. 7:00, the alarm went off, jerking her awake, buzzing. She grabbed her phone, turned it off. She got up, splashed cold water on her face, changed into clean jeans, a red and white flannel shirt with a t-shirt beneath. Layers. It would be cold out there. She had read that much. She gathered her backpack, a water bottle, her phone charger, and a book, a thriller that she'd been reading by Frida McFadden. She locked her apartment, got in her truck, started the engine. 7:15 p.m. The sun had set an hour ago. It was dark now. The drive took about an hour from where she lived. Highways first, then smaller roads, then dirt roads, getting darker, getting emptier. Her headlights cutting through the darkness, dust swirling, scrubland on either side, nothing else. She had the radio on, but the signal kept cutting out. Static, fragments of songs, then nothing. She turned it off. The silence was better than the static. Her GPS said in 0.2 miles, you have arrived at your destination. And then she sees it. In the darkness, a small ranger station lit up. The visitor center. Her new job. Sarah killed her engine and just sat there for a moment. The sky. She'd never seen anything like it. A canopy of stars, millions of them, so many that they looked like clouds of light. The Milky Way stretched across the sky like a river of diamonds. Bright, clear, overwhelming. In Flagstaff, you could see maybe 100 stars on a clear night. Light pollution, city glow. Out here, there was nothing between her and infinity. It was beautiful, breathtaking, the kind of beauty that made you feel small. Made you feel like you were seeing something sacred. The door to the visitor center opened. A man stepped out. Older, late 60s, maybe 70s, Navajo, weathered face, gray hair pulled back, in a park ranger uniform. Well, you're here on time. That's a good sign. Chelsea grabbed her backpack, got out of her truck, and walked toward him. She wanted to be friendly. She wanted to make a good impression. Yeah, hi, I'm Chelsea Charisse. Gerald Tasosi. Come on in. I'll show you around. He didn't offer his hand, didn't smile, just turned and walked back inside. Chelsea followed. The visitor's center was small. One main room, maybe 500 square feet. Fluorescent lights overhead, humming. That constant buzz, too bright, too harsh. It smelled like dust, old paper, coffee that had been sitting too long. There was a desk, an office chair, a computer, an old boxy monitor, a phone, a landline that was beige, a rotary dial. Displays on the walls, posters about Monument Valley, geology, history, Navajo culture, all faded, sun damaged. There was a tiny gift shop area, nothing more than a box, really. T-shirts, postcards, dusty. Nobody had bought anything in weeks, probably. Gerald was pointing. He was giving a tour. He was efficient. There was no small talk. So you got your desk. Computers mostly for inventory. You won't need it much. The phone works. Don't expect it to ring. And if it does, be cautious. He pointed to the back hallway. The hallway's back there. Bathroom on the left. Storage room on the right. Office at the end. Don't worry about that. Gerald looked down at the watch on his wrist. Should have had you come out a little bit earlier. All right, let's speed this up. He pointed to a small break area. Coffee maker works. Coffee in the cabinet, cheap stuff. Snacks in the drawer, water bottles in the mini fridge. He was moving fast, like he wanted to get this over with, and Chelsea saw that, like he wanted to leave. He checked his watch again. Trevor told you that your shift is from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., right? It's 8:50 now. I'm leaving at 9. Is there anything I need to do? Any task? Chelsea asked. Gerald shook his head. Not really. You're just here. You're a presence. You're a deterrent. If someone shows up, which they won't, you tell them that we're closed. That's it. I told him to stop hiring these young girls. I'm sorry, excuse me? There was an awkward pause. He stood there, looking at her, his expression serious, almost sad. I can see why he hired you. There are 5 rules. The way he said it, 5 rules, not suggestions, not guidelines. Rules. He was dead serious, no humor on his face. You need to follow these rules explicitly. No exceptions, no bending them. Do you understand? Chelsea was a little uncomfortable, but she was trying her best to smile. Okay, what are the rules? Gerald held up one finger. Rule number 1, keep all doors and windows locked. All of them. Check them before I leave. Check them again at midnight. Check them at 3 a.m. Especially at 3 a.m. Chelsea was confused. That seemed excessive to her, but okay. Rule number 2. If you hear someone call your name from the outside, do not respond. Do not answer. Do not go to the door. Do you understand? Chelsea's skepticism was growing. She blinked. What? Rule number 3. If you see someone or something outside, do not look directly at it. Use your peripheral vision, and if it sees you looking, you turn away immediately. Do not make eye contact with it. Chelsea thought to herself, okay, this is really getting weird. The old man held up a fourth finger. If you hear scratching on the walls or the roof, Turn on every light in the building, every single one, and keep them on until it stops. And then he held up his fifth finger. Rule number 5. If you see something that moves wrong, something that looks human but isn't, you get the hell out of here. You get in your truck and you drive away. You don't stop. You don't look back. You drive to the gas station on Highway 163. You tell Ed what happened. He'll know what to do. Gerald just stared at her, waiting for what? Acknowledgement? Questions? Chelsea gave an uncomfortable laugh. I'm sorry. Okay, what are you talking about? She didn't believe in this stuff. The paranormal, the supernatural, ghost stories. She was rational and logical. Clearly this old Indian man was not. Is this... Are you trying to scare me? Because I am not going to get scared. I need this job. I really... Gerald cut her off. He was firm, almost angry. I'm trying to keep you alive. Whether you choose to do these or not is your choice. The fluorescent lights hummed. The building settled. Chelsea didn't know what to say. She didn't want to offend him. Word might get back to Trevor, and then she might be out of a job. Okay, I'll follow the rules. Explicitly. She was humoring him, the old man. He was probably senile, superstitious. She'd smile, nod, and ignore all of it. Gerald stared at her for a long moment. He could tell. He could see it in her face. She didn't believe. Generally, the young ones didn't. His face was resigned, sad. If you follow the rules, young lady, maybe you won't find out what happens when you break them. He grabbed his jacket from the back of the chair, looked down at his watch again, cussed. Damn it. His keys, his thermos, moved toward the door. Wait! What do you mean? Find out. Find out what? Gerald was at the door. He didn't turn around. He paused, his hand on the doorknob. His voice was a whisper. What's out there? You don't want to know what's out there. He opened the door. Cold air rushed in from the desert, the smell of sage and dust. And then he was gone. The door closed behind him. The lock clicked. Chelsea was alone. Let's take a 10-minute intermission, and when we come back, we will continue. Marked, a dark horror story. How's everybody doing so far? Hello, Queen Loyal. Pink says, I never work night shift. You know the rules. Hello, Quasimodo. Hello, Voxcora. Oh, you have no idea, Eclipse. Oh, I'm so glad, Lindy. She should have. Karen says I'm screaming. Hey, Glitter Demon. If you hear them call your name, no, you didn't. Everybody, welcome in. Thank you so much for the presents. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the taps. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the repost and the sharing. Thank you all so much. Hello, Carol. Darcy May, welcome in. No, what 911 call? 2 minutes. Siamese is working night shift right now. Hello, Darcy May from Alabama. First night here. Nice showing tonight. Welcome in, everyone. I worked nights in a grocery store for 30 years. Wow. Oh, thank you, Vancora. Oh, I'm so glad, Lydia. So glad. Tigger is a third shift nurse, so she knows about working nights. This story I named Marked. M-A-R-K-E-D. Okay, y'all got to tell me about this one. Oh, I'm glad, Julie. Get ready, y'all. Get ready. You know my mind. Just search on TikTok. Okay, I will do it. Oh, yes. I'm so glad that y'all are communicating and chatting and creating this stir in the chat. Thank you all so, so much. If you are a scaredy cat, you might not want to listen to the rest of this. Just a warning. Oh, wow, Tara. Yeah, I'm going to have to listen to it. Oh, I'm sorry, Alabama. Oh, shoot. Yes, there will be a quiz at the index. All right, it is time. Are you loving the music vibe? I am digging it. Awesome. Hey, Emerald Dragon's Lair. I will look that up after the live, for sure. Welcome back to Twisted Tales Live. I am sharing my dark story, my original dark story, marked. Chelsea has taken a position at a ranger station in Monument Valley, Arizona. She's been warned by Gerald, a very old Native American worker there, that there are 5 rules that you must follow. Do you think Chelsea will follow them? Let's find out. Let me see it in the comments. I'm ready, Bryn. Chelsea looked out the window. She could hear Gerald's truck starting outside, the engine turning over, rough, diesel. The sound of tires on gravel moving away, getting quieter. 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 Gone. And then silence. Not peaceful silence, not comfortable silence. Heavy. She heard the fluorescent lights humming overhead, the constant electrical buzz, getting louder now that there was nothing else to hear. The building settling, creaking, old wood, a metal roof cooling down from the day's heat. Her own breathing. She could hear her own breathing. Too loud. She looked around. The visitor center felt different now. Smaller. The fluorescent lights were too bright, harsh, made everything look flat, sickly. The windows were black, completely black, just reflecting the interior now, showing her own face. Pale, nervous. She couldn't see outside, couldn't see her truck, couldn't see anything. Just darkness, pressing against the glass. And the cold. She could feel the cold air coming through from somewhere. The building wasn't well insulated. It was drafty. She could smell dust, old coffee, something else underneath of it, something organic. A desert smell, perhaps, sage, earth, something wild. Chelsea sat her backpack down on the desk, looked at the clock on the wall. It was 9:02. It was a long way from 6 a.m. It was a long time alone in the building. She couldn't help but hear Gerald's rules echoed in her head. Ridiculous rules. Superstitious nonsense. Her thought. She didn't believe any of that. She was a rational person. But the building felt wrong. That feeling you get, that primal feeling, the one that lives in the back of your brain, the one left over from when humans were prey, the feeling of being watched. She pushed it away, though. Chelsea shook her head. She was being ridiculous. She sat down at the desk, opened her backpack, pulled out her water bottle and her book. But she couldn't stop looking at the windows, at the darkness pressing against them. "15 miles from the nearest town, 45 minutes from help." She was completely alone. The fluorescent lights buzzed, the building creaked, the darkness waited. And outside, something was already circling. Something had already saw her. "9:30. Chelsea walked around the visitor center, slowly, getting familiar with the space. After all, she would be here nights. She ran her hand along the wall. The wood paneling was rough, cheap. She could feel the texture under her fingertips. Walked to the displays, old photographs of Monument Valley, black and white, tourists from the 60s, families, everyone smiling. She looked at the gift shop area, t-shirts hanging on a rack, dusty postcards at a spinning display that looked like it was going to fall apart at any moment. Faded. Nobody had bought anything in weeks. She walked down the back hallway. It was narrow, dim, just one fluorescent light. Bathroom on the left. She opened the door, looked inside. Small, a toilet, a sink, a tiny window above the toilet, and in the middle of the ceiling was a skylight, maybe 18 inches wide. The latch appeared to be secure on the window, but she saw nothing on the skylight. There was a storage room on the right, a door closed. She checked that later. There was an office at the end. The door was closed there too. Gerald had said not to worry about it. Chelsea walked back to the main room. The fluorescent light hummed. She hated it. There was one particular light that kept blinking on and off, on and off, casting the office in half shadow. The phone rang. Chelsea jumped. It was loud and piercing. The old-fashioned bell inside the phone ringing. Ring, ring. Gerald had said the phone wouldn't ring, but it was ringing. Chelsea's heart jumped. She walked quickly to the desk and picked up the receiver. She wasn't sure how to answer, so she did the only thing that came to mind. Monument Valley Ranger Station, Chelsea speaking. Hey, Chels, how's it going out there? Trevor, her new boss. Just Trevor, her manager. She took a sigh and a deep breath. So far so good. Did Gerald show you your uniform? No, he didn't mention it. Trevor was helpful. It's in the storage room, top shelf. Might be a little big on you. I kind of guessed at your size, but next time I see you, I'll get your exact measurements and we'll get you fitted properly. The way he said measurements, lingering on the word, she could almost see him smiling on the other end of the line. Can you go check for me? Make sure it's there. Chelsea agreed. Sure, hold on, just a minute. She set the phone down on the desk and walked back down the hallway to the storage room. She already hated the dimly lit hallway. The single fluorescent light blinking, about to go out, casting harsh shadows. She opened the storage room door and reached for the light switch. Click. A single bulb overhead. Weak. Yellow. Metal shelves, boxes, supplies, cleaning products, extra trail maps, a mop and a bucket in the corner. Top shelf, there it was. A park ranger uniform, folded, green and brown, name tag holder attached. He had spelled Chelsea wrong. Most people did. She grabbed it. The fabric was stiff, new, smelled like the plastic bag that it had been stored in. She walked back to the main room and picked up the phone. Got it. It's here. Perfect. All right, you got plenty of snacks, water, drinks. Want to make sure our new employee's doing well out there. I think there might be a couple sweaters hanging in the coat closet in the storage room if you get cold. Yeah, I'm all good. And then Trevor asked the most silly question. Do you need me to come out there? I mean, first night out there alone. I could keep you company tonight. I'm just finishing up here at the office. I could be out there in 45 minutes, hour tops. We could hang out, get to know one another, chat, make the night go faster. Chelsea's reaction was visceral. Shivers, actual shivers run down her spine. The thought of Trevor in the building, in this isolated building along with her at night until 6 a.m. in the morning. Hell no. No, absolutely not. No, I think I'm good. I'm ready to go. I got everything I need. He was disappointed, but trying to hide it when he spoke. Okay, well, if you change your mind, just let me know. I'm around. Just went through a breakup and kind of don't want to go home and just sit and watch TV and drink beer. But okay, will do. Thanks. She hung up on him. And then she heard it. A howl. Distant. Long. Rising and falling. It sounded like a wolf or a coyote, but bigger somehow, deeper. The sound carried across the empty desert, echoing off the rock formations. Silence again, just the hum of the fluorescent light, the building settling. Chelsea looked at the uniform in her hands, the park ranger uniform. This was official. This made it real. She walked to the bathroom, closed the door, changed out of her jeans and flannel, put on the uniform, the green pants, the brown button-up shirt. It was big. Trevor had guessed wrong. The shirt hung too loose. The pants were long, but it would at least work until she could get a new one. She looked at herself in the small bathroom mirror above the sink, and she smiled. A park ranger. She looked official. She looked professional. She'd worked for this. This was what she wanted to be, and now she was stepping up that ladder. She walked back to the main room, folded her jeans and flannel and put them in her backpack. Then walked back to the break area, opened the drawer, snacks, just like Trevor had said. She saw granola bars, bags of chips in a drawer, Lay's potato chips, original, her favorite, pretzels, cookies, trail mix. She grabbed a bag of the Lay's, the original, the bag crinkled in her hand, very loud in the quiet. She opened the mini fridge. She saw water bottles, Cokes, Sprites, energy drinks. She grabbed a Sprite. It was cold, condensation already forming on the can. Walked back to the desk, set the chips and Sprite down, and plunked down in the office chair. She opened the bag of chips, the sound loud, satisfying, the smell of salt and potato. Took a chip, crunched it. It was salty and good. She was hungry, hadn't eaten since lunch. She opened the Sprite, the hiss of the carbonation, the fizz. She took a sip, cold, sweet, perfect. She pulled out her book from her backpack. It was a thriller. She'd been reading it for a week, was about halfway through. set it on the desk, opened it to the page that she'd marked. Everything looked perfectly normal. Chips, soda, book, desk, comfortable chair. Just a normal night, a normal job, nothing to worry about. She glanced at the clock. It was 10 p.m. Chelsea settled into the chair and started reading, the words on the page pulling her in. A detective, a murder, a mystery. The fluorescent lights hummed overhead. The building was quiet, warm enough, comfortable. She ate the chips, read a page, took a sip of Sprite, read another page. Normal, safe. Just a girl reading a book at work, making $18 an hour. But outside, in the darkness that pressed against the windows, something was moving, circling the building, slowly, patiently, testing the perimeter, learning the layout, waiting, watching. "10:30. Chelsea sat at the desk reading. The thriller was getting good. The detective was close to solving the case. The wind. Then she heard it. The wind. Not a gentle breeze, a gust, strong, hitting the building. The whole structure shuddered slightly. The front door rattled in its frame. The windows vibrated. A low whistle as the wind found gaps in the weather stripping. Chelsea looked up from her book. "Rule number 1, Gerald's voice in her head, clear as if he were standing there. "Keep all doors and windows locked. All of them. Check them." Chelsea set the book down, slowly, face down on the desk to keep her place. She stood up and walked across the room, the linoleum floor creaking under her feet, each step loud in the quiet. She reached for the front door. She put her hand on it, felt it vibrating slightly from the wind outside. The middle deadbolt, engaged, secure. The top bolt, she reached up, slid it into place, heavy, metal on metal, thunk. The bottom bolt, she crouched down, slid it home, thunk. Her hand rested on the door for a moment. The wood was cold. She could feel the vibrations through it, the wind, the building settling. Another gust of wind, stronger. The building groaned. The back door. She needed to check the back door. Chelsea walked down the hallway, the narrow, fluorescent lit hallway. The fluorescent light overhead was flickering badly. Not just a flutter now, a full strobe. On, off, on, off. The ballast buzzing, struggling. The hallway flashed between harsh light and complete darkness. Light, dark, light, dark. Chelsea's heart beat faster. The flickering made everything feel unstable. Made the shadows themselves seem to move. Made the hallway seem longer than it was. She reached the back door. It was metal and heavy, green paint chipped and faded. Grabbed the handle, turned it. It turned. The door was unlocked. Chelsea's breath caught. Her pulse spiked. She locked it quickly. The top bolt, thunk. The middle deadbolt, thunk. The bottom bolt, thunk. Pulled on the handle, testing. It held. It locked. It was secure now. She let out a breath. Okay, it's locked now. Rule number 1, Gerald. All doors are locked. Gerald had told her to check. He told her, so she did. She walked back down the flickering hallway. Light, dark, light, dark, the shadows jumping. Back to the main room, back to the desk. Chelsea sat down in the office chair. It creaked. She picked up her book. Tried to read, but the words weren't registering. Her heart was still beating too fast, but she wasn't sure why. And that's when she heard it. A voice. Soft. Distant. Muffled by the walls and the wind. Chelsea. Chelsea froze. She wasn't sure she'd heard it. Maybe she'd imagined it. Maybe it was the wind. She set the book down slowly, listening. Just the hum of the fluorescent lights, the building settling, the outside. Then a knock. Soft. 3 taps on the door. Tap. 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 Chelsea. She heard it this time. Clear. Unmistakable. A woman's voice. Young. Maybe her age? It said her name. Chelsea sat up in the office chair, her heart pounding now. looking toward the front door. Rule number 2, she heard Gerald's voice in her head. If you hear someone call your name from the outside, do not respond. Do not answer. Chelsea didn't respond. She sat completely still, barely breathing. Silence. Long. Stretching. Just the wind. The humming lights, her own heartbeat loud in her ears, nothing more. Then, knocking again. Different. Urgent. Faster. Chelsea stood up, the chair rolling back behind her, hitting the wall. She walked across the floor, slowly, each step deliberate. Her legs felt strange and heavy. She stopped 5 feet from the door. She didn't touch it. She just stood there. The voice came again. Closer. Right on the other side of the door. Chelsea, I know you're in there. I can see your shadow moving around. I need help. It was a woman. She sounded frightened, genuine, real. Chelsea's job was to help people. That's what park rangers did. They helped. But Gerald had said, don't answer. Don't even acknowledge. Shit. She'd already done that. Hadn't she? No, she hadn't. She was good. She stood there, frozen, every muscle tense. Silence. A minute, 2 minutes, just her breathing. Just the wind. Then knocking. Rapid. Urgent. Chelsea broke. We're closed! She spoke. She'd broken rule number 2. Immediate response. The voice came back, faster, eager. My car broke down. Just a few miles back. I've been walking. It's cold out here. It's so cold out here. I just need to make a phone call. Please. Chelsea stood there, her hand unconsciously reaching toward the door, then stopping, pulling back. I'm sorry, but I'm not allowed to let anybody in here at night. I'm really sorry. But if you have a phone number, I can write it down. I can call someone for you. I can send you help. Silence. Then the voice came again. Quieter. Different tone this time. won't you let me come in? I need to use the bathroom. I'm thirsty. Please. I've been walking for hours. I'm freezing. I just need help. Chelsea's throat was tight. Her hands were shaking. I'm not allowed to let anyone in, ma'am. I'm sorry. That's the rules. And then she felt it. The hair on the back of her neck, standing up, actually standing up. Her arms, goosebumps from her wrist to her shoulders, every hair follicle responding to something her conscious mind hadn't caught yet. Her stomach, tight, nauseous, that feeling, that primal animal feeling. Danger. Wrong. Run. And then the question hit her. How did this woman know her name? She wasn't wearing a name tag. There was no list of employees on the door. Her truck had no identifying mark. She'd never been here before tonight. There was no way for a stranger to know her name. Unless it wasn't a stranger. Or it wasn't human. Chelsea stood there 5 feet from the door, frozen. Every instinct in her body screaming at her. Get away from the door. But she couldn't move. She couldn't think. She couldn't breathe properly. Outside, on the other side of the door, silence. But she knew it was still there. She could feel it. It was waiting, listening to her name, knowing she was afraid, and smiling. Chelsea stood at the door. Silence. Then the wind picked up. Strong, violent, hitting the building like a fist. The walls groaned, the windows rattled in their frames. A howling sound, the wind finding every gap in the building, every crack screaming through them. And underneath the wind, other sounds. Howling, animal howling, wolves or coyotes. Multiple voices, different pitches, calling to each other across the empty desert. The sound made something ancient wake up in Chelsea's brain, the part that remembered when humans were prey. At the door, nothing. No voice. No knocking. Just wind. Chelsea stood there listening, her heart pounding so hard she could feel it in her throat. 1 minute. 2 minutes. 3 minutes. 5 seconds. Nothing. Maybe it, whatever it was, had left. Then the door handle rattled. Hard, violent. Someone, something grabbing it, turning it, yanking it. Rattle, rattle, rattle. The locks held, the top, the middle, the bottom, all engaged, all secure. But the violence of it, the force, whatever was out there, was strong. The voice came again. Different now. No longer pleading. No longer frightened. Let me in. I need to make a call. I need to use the bathroom. You'd think that you would understand that, being a woman. Chelsea. The shift from victim to aggressor, from pleading to demanding. The implication, you'd think you would understand. Trying to guilt her, manipulate her, make her feel bad for following her instincts. Chelsea yelled back loud, voice cracking. I'm not letting you in. I'm sorry, but I'm not letting you in. Silence. And then a bang. Chelsea jumped. A massive impact on the door, so loud it echoed through the building, so hard the door flexed inward. The frame creaked. Not a knock, not a fist. Something hitting the door with the force of a battering ram. Chelsea stumbled backward, nearly tripped, and caught herself. She backed away from the door, fast, heart racing, breath coming in short gasp. She needed to see, needed to know what was out there. She needed to look out the window, the big window facing the parking lot. She walked over to it, her legs shaking, her hands trembling. She stood at the window, the glass cold, reflecting the fluorescent lights inside, showing her own pale face, her frightened eyes. She looked down into the darkness, into the parking lot. The floodlight in the parking lot was still on, harsh, yellow-white, creating a circle of light, maybe 30 feet across. Her truck was there, blue Ford Ranger covered in dust, sitting in the light. And something else. A figure standing at the very edge of the light where the illumination faded into darkness. And then she saw it. Tall, very tall, maybe 6 feet, maybe more. Human-shaped. 2 arms, 2 legs, a head. But something was wrong. It was looking at the window, looking at her, standing completely still, not moving, not swaying, not shifting weight. The kind of stillness that's inhuman, the kind predators have, waiting, watching. Chelsea stared at it, her breath fogging the glass slightly. And then she heard Gerald's voice in her mind. Rule number 3. Distant. Warning. If you see something outside, do not look directly at it. But she was looking. She couldn't not look. And then it moved toward the building, toward the window, toward her. Walking. But the walk was wrong. The gait was off, too smooth, too fluid, like it was almost gliding, like its feet weren't quite making proper contact with the ground. The rhythm was wrong, not the natural sway of human walking, not the shifting of weight from heel to toe. Something else, something that looked like walking but wasn't. And the head, God, the head, it was tilted to the side, like someone listening to something far away. But the angle was too severe, tilted at 45 degrees, maybe more. Necks don't tilt like that, Chelsea thought. Not without breaking. He was getting closer, step by wrong step, gliding toward the window. Chelsea could see more details now. It was closer, maybe 20 feet away. It was wearing something, a dress, dark, tattered, hanging wrong on the body. The arms were too long, hanging past where they should, past the hips, almost to the knees. The hands, if they were hands, were wrong. The fingers too long, too many joints, bent at odd angles. 15 feet away now. Sarah could almost see the face, the features forming in the light. It was pale, too pale, white, like something that had never seen sunlight on its skin. 10 feet away. And the eyes, they were looking at her. They were looking at her, directly at her, through the window, through the glass. Eye contact. Rule 3, broken. And in that moment, the moment their eyes met, Chelsea knew. It knew she was looking. It knew she saw it. And at that moment, Chelsea Cherise was marked. And it smiled. The mouth stretched, wider than mouths should stretch. The skin at the corners splitting and tearing. Teeth, so many teeth, rows of them sharp, pointed, not human teeth. Still approaching, still walking with that smooth, wrong gait. 5 feet from the window now. Chelsea could see everything now in horrible, perfect detail. The skin wasn't right. It was white. Different textures, like pieces from different sources stitched together. The hair hung in long, greasy strands, black, clumped, some patches missing, others too thick. The eyes were too large, too bright, reflecting the light from inside, glowing green gold like a cat's eyes, like a wolf's eyes. The mouth still stretched in that terrible smile, the teeth going back and back, multiple rows, like a shark. And Chelsea could smell it now, even through the closed window, even through the glass. Death, rot, decay, something organic and wrong. He raised one hand, slowly, the arm bending at wrong angles. Too many joints. Placed it against the glass, palm flat, fingers spread. The fingers were too long, the nails were claws, black, curved, sharp. And then it did the most terrifying thing. Tap. 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 It tapped on the glass, gently, almost playful. Tap. Tap. And then it spoke, the mouth moving, the voice mumbled by the glass, but clear enough. Chelsea, you're mine. It used her exact voice, perfect imitation of Chelsea. I can see you. You looked at me. Chelsea couldn't move, couldn't breathe, couldn't think. Every cell in her body was screaming, run, run, run. But she was frozen, locked in place, staring into those glowing eyes. The thing at the window, 5 feet away, separated only by glass. Still smiling, still watching, still waiting. She'd seen it. It'd seen her. And now, It had marked her. Then it moved. Fast, impossibly fast. One moment it was at the window, hand pressed against the glass, smiling with too many teeth. The next, it was gone. It sprinted away across the parking lot, moving so fast it was almost a blur. The way it moved, not running like a human runs, on all fours, like a wolf, like something built for hunting. Covering 30 feet in seconds, disappearing into the darkness beyond the floodlight. Chelsea stood at the window, gasping, her hand pressed against her chest, her heart pounding. It was gone. But where? Silence. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, just the wind, just the humming lights. And then, bang, from the side wall. A massive impact. The whole building shook, pictures rattled, the displays on the walls vibrated. It was hitting the building, ramming it. Then, scratching. Not soft scratching, not gentle, violent, loud. The sounds of claws, long, sharp claws, raking across wood siding, deep, gouging, tearing. The scratching moved, traveling along the south wall from the front corner toward the back. Fast, deliberate, like it was testing, probing for weaknesses. Rule number 4. Gerald's voice cutting through her panic. If you hear scratching on the walls or roof, turn on every light in the building. Chelsea ran across the main room, every light switch flipping them on. The overheads were already on, the desk lamp she'd turned it on, the display lights were on, the emergency exit signs already lit. She ran down the hallway, the fluorescent lights still flickering. Bzzz, bzzz. The storage room light she clicked on, the bathroom light she clicked on, the office light she clicked on. Every light blazing in the building, harsh, bright, fluorescent white. The scratching continued, louder now, more aggressive. It had moved to the back wall, behind the building where the back door was. There was pounding on the back door. Heavy impact, the metal door booming like a drum. The door handle rattling violently as something yanking it, trying to turn it, trying to force it. Chelsea ran down the hallway, her boots loud on the linoleum, the flickering light strobing, light, dark, light, dark. She reached the back door and looked at it. The locks. The top bolt was engaged, the middle deadbolt engaged, the bottom bolt engaged. But the door was flexing, bending inward with each impact, the metal warping, the frame creeping. Whatever was out there, it was strong, strong enough to bend metal. And then, silence. The pounding stopped. The rattling stopped. Chelsea stood there, breathing hard, listening. Where did it go? Then, above, something on the roof. My God, something just landed on the roof. Thump. Heavy, solid, the whole building shuddering from the impact. Footsteps overhead, directly above her. 4 points of contact. Thud, 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 thud. Not 2 legs, 4. Moving across the roof, from the back toward the front, fast, heavy. Chelsea backed away from the back door, looking up, tracking the sound. It was hunting, circling, testing every entrance, every weakness. The scratching returned on the roof now, directly overhead. Scrape. Metal on metal. Claws on the metal roof, sparks probably flying outside. The sound was deafening. Chelsea screamed at the ceiling. Go away! Go away and leave me alone! The scratching stopped. Silence. And then movement. The footsteps overhead moving toward the bathroom. The bathroom where the small window was, where the... Oh my God, where the skylight was. Chelsea's blood went cold. Because the skylight, the bathroom skylight, 18 inches square, it didn't lock. She ran down the hallway, the flickering light. Bzz, bzz, light, dark, light, dark. She ran into the bathroom, looked up at the skylight, a square of darkness in the ceiling. She could see stars through it, the night sky. Movement outside on the roof. She could hear it scraping, positioning. And then it appeared. A face. Upside down, looking through the skylight, looking down at her. The face, white, mottled skin like a corpse. The eyes, huge, glowing, green gold, staring down at her unblinking. The smile, that terrible, impossible smile. The mouth stretched so wide the corners were at the ears, rows and rows of teeth. The hair hanging down around the face, lank, greasy, touching the skylight glass. And the hands, pressed against the glass on either side of the face, long fingers, too many joints, black claws scraping against the glass. It was looking at her, directly at her, 3 feet away, separated only by thin glass. The glass was creaking, flexing. The thing was pushing on it, testing it. Chelsea couldn't move, couldn't scream, couldn't breathe. Just staring up at that face. That thing 3 feet above her head. And then it spoke, the mouth moving, the voice muffled by the glass but clear. Hi, Chelsea. I can see you. Can you see me? It tapped on the skylight, gently, the claws clicking against the glass. Tap. Tap. A sound, soft and terrible. Crack. A fracture line appeared in the glass, thin, spiderwebbing from the center. It was breaking through. Chelsea screamed. No! No, 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 no! Leave me alone! Chelsea turned and ran out of the bathroom, down the hallway, the flickering light. Bzzz, bzzz. Behind her, more cracking, the glass breaking, shattering. Crash! The skylight shattered. Chelsea burst into the main room, spun around, looking back at the hallway. Sounds from the bathroom, glass falling, tinkling, something moving, something dropping through. It was inside the building. Chelsea stared at the hallway, the flickering light, bzzz, bzzz, light, dark, light, dark. Movement in the darkness in the bathroom, something moving, scraping, positioning itself. Then, silence. Waiting. Hunting. Chelsea backed toward the front door. Her keys, she needed her keys to get to the truck. Rule number 5. Gerald's voice. If you see something that moves wrong, you get the hell out of this building, you get to your vehicle and you drive away, and you don't stop. You don't stop for anything. Her backpack. It was on her desk, her keys inside. Chelsea moved toward it slowly, not taking her eyes off the hallway. From the bathroom, a sound. Wet, heavy, breathing, like lungs full of fluid. Then footsteps coming down the hallway. Thud, 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 thud. Not walking, stalking. The flickering light. Bzzz, bzzz. Light, dark, light. And Chelsea saw it. Dark. Gone. Light. Closer. Dark. Light. There. At the end of the hallway. Crouched. On all fours. Head tilted, eyes glowing, staring at her, smiling. They stared at each other. Chelsea and the thing. 20 feet of linoleum floor. 20 feet between prey and predator. The thing crouched at the end of the hallway on all fours, joints bent wrong, elbows pointing up, knees bending backward. The head tilted at an impossible angle. "45 degrees, maybe more. The vertebrae in the neck visible under the pale skin. The eyes locked on her, glowing, unblinking. Predator's eyes. And that smile, never changing, never fading, stretched across the face like a wound. It wasn't moving, just waiting, watching her, reading her, anticipating. Chelsea's eyes darted to the side, a quick glance. The desk. Her backpack on the desk, 10 feet to her right. Her keys inside. The thing's head swiveled, following her gaze, smooth, fluid, like an owl. Make your move, Chelsea. It knew what she was thinking. Chelsea took a step back, slow, careful, hands out to her sides, trying not to trigger it. Another step back toward the desk, toward her keys. The thing moved. One step forward, matching her, stalking. The flickering light. Bzzz, bzzz. Light, the thing was there. Then it was dark, invisible. Then it was light, and it was closer. Chelsea took another step back, her hand brushing the edge of the desk behind her. The thing moved forward, still on all fours, shoulders rolling, predatory, patient. 15 feet apart now. Chelsea made her decision. She moved, sprinted, spun, lunged, grabbed her backpack, yanked it off the desk. The thing exploded into motion. A blur crossing the room, claws scraping on linoleum, that wet, rattling breathing. Chelsea ran toward the front door, fumbling with the backpack, unzipping it, finding her keys. Keys in her hand, cold metal, truck key, there. At the door, reached for the top bolt. Behind her, she could hear it. It was close. 5 feet, maybe less. That smell, death, rot. Top bolt, her hand shaking, grabbed it, slid it, thunk. Middle deadbolt, turned it, click. Bottom bolt, crouched down, thunk. A sound right behind her, inches away, breathing, wet, heavy. She didn't look, couldn't look. Pushed the door hard and burst through. It was cold. The cold air hit her face like a slap. 50 degrees, maybe colder. Her breath visible. Fog. The smell of sage, dust, desert night, clean air, life. The sky above, stars, millions of them, infinite, indifferent. Her truck, 30 feet away. Blue Ford Ranger sitting in the floodlight. Chelsea ran for everything in her. She sprinted across the gravel parking lot, her boots crunching loud, too loud. Keys gripped in her fists, truck key between her fingers. And behind her, she heard it, a crash. The door slamming open, hitting the wall, the thing bursting through. She hears it. She could hear it behind her, close, gaining. The sound of claws on gravel. Scrape, 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 4 legs, fast, too fast. 20 feet to the truck. 15. 10. She reached the truck and grabbed the door handle. Jammed the key in the lock. Turned it, and it clicked. Yanked the door open. And behind her, she felt it. Something hitting the desk inside the building. The crash of furniture being thrown. Chelsea threw herself into the truck, slammed the door, and locked it. Key in the ignition. Hand shaking so hard she almost dropped it. Turned the key. The engine turned over once, twice. Come on! Come on! The engine roared to life. It was relief. Sweet. Brief. She looked up through the windshield. The visitor center 40 feet away, the door open, light spilling out. And it appeared. In the doorway, crouched, then standing, rising up on two legs. Tall, so tall, 7 feet maybe. The proportions were all wrong. The arms hanging to the knees, the hands with those long clawed fingers. The head tilted, the hair hanging, the eyes glowing. And that smile, that terrible, impossible smile. Looking at her through the windshield, 40 feet away. Chelsea slammed the truck into reverse. She put her foot on the gas, and the truck lurched forward. Backing up so fast, the gravel sprayed, the truck fishtailing. Watching the thing, in the headlights, in the floodlight, it dropped to all fours. Instantly, no transition, standing, then on its hands and knees, with that terrible, pale skin. And then it ran. Straight at her. Across the parking lot. Fast. Impossibly fast. The headlights caught it, illuminated it, every horrifying detail. Coming right at her. 20 feet, 15, 10. Chelsea cranked the wheel, slammed it into drive, punched the gas. The truck lurched forward, tires spinning, catching, shooting forward. Away from the building, away from that thing, into the darkness. The dirt road. Her headlights cutting through the dark. Dust swirling. Monument Valley ahead. The massive rock formations, dark shapes against darker sky. Silhouettes. Driving fast. Too fast. 40 miles an hour. 50. 60, too fast for this road, but she didn't care. Checking the rearview mirror, looking back. The visitor center getting smaller, the lights fading. Nothing following, nothing in the mirror, just darkness. Relief building. Maybe she made it, maybe she... And then she catches movement ahead. In the headlights, ahead on the road. Something standing in the middle of the road. A second one. Different from the first. Taller, broader shoulders. What used to be a man. Standing in the road 30 feet ahead, blocking her path. Bigger than the first, more muscular. The shoulders broad, the arms thick, hanging to the knees. The face was male, masculine features, but wrong. The jaw too wide, the eyes too far apart, glowing, the mouth open, growling, She could hear it even through the windshield, even over the engine. A deep rumbling growl, like a bear, like a wolf, but lower, resonating. Daring her, challenging her to come closer to it. Head lowered, shoulders hunched, ready to charge. Chelsea hit the brakes, hard. The truck skidded, tires locking, sliding on gravel, fishtailing. Stopping 20 feet from the thing. 15, 10, a complete stop. Just Chelsea and the creature, 10 feet apart, separated by headlight beams, staring at each other. The growling continued, constant, threatening. And behind her, in the rearview mirror, the first one, the female running, coming down the road, fast. Trapped. One ahead, one behind. And Chelsea, sitting in her truck, surrounded by Monument Valley's ancient stones, was being hunted. Chelsea sat in her truck, engine running, headlights blazing. One ahead, the male, 10 feet away, growling, ready to charge at any moment. One behind, the female running down the road, getting closer. Trapped. Chelsea made her decision. Only one way out. Through it. Her foot slammed down on the gas pedal, all the way down to the floor. The engine roared, the truck launched forward. Straight at the male creature, no hesitation, no swerving. The creature's eyes widened just for a second in surprise, and then it jumped, impossibly high, straight up 8 feet, 10 feet, landing on the hood. Landing on the hood of the truck with a boom that shook the entire vehicle. 7 seconds. The hood buckled under the weight, metal groaning, denting. And the creature, right there, 3 feet from Chelsea's face. Pressed against the windshield, hands splayed, claws scraping against glass. The base. She could see everything. The white skin, the veins visible underneath, black veins pulsing. The eyes, huge, yellow, glowing, the pupils vertical slits like a cat, like a snake. The nose flat, the nostrils too wide, flaring, breathing hard. She could see inside them, black and wet. The mouth open, wide, the jaw unhinged, rows of teeth, sharp, pointed, going back like a lamprey. The tongue long and thin, flicking out, tasting the glass, leaving smears of saliva. And a smell, even through the vents, even through the closed cab, death, rot, putrefaction. Chelsea couldn't think, couldn't breathe, couldn't process what she was seeing. But her foot was still on the gas pedal. The truck was still moving, accelerating, 40 miles an hour, 50. She couldn't see the road. The creature blocked her entire view. Just that face, those eyes. The creature pounding on the windshield. Bang, bang, bang. The glass cracking, spider webbing. Claws scraping, trying to tear through. Screech. Chelsea couldn't see anything, not the road, not the rocks, nothing. Just driving, blind, into the darkness. And ahead, invisible in the darkness, one of Monument Valley's massive formations. A boulder, 15 feet tall, ancient, immovable. Directly in her path. Impact. The truck hit the boulder at 50 miles an hour. The sound was enormous. Metal crumpling, glass shattering, a sound like the world ending. Everything happened at once. The front end of the truck crumpled like a beer can, the hood folding, the engine block slamming backward. The creature flew off the hood, launched into the air, tumbling, spinning, disappearing into the darkness. The windshield exploded inward, safety glass showering thousands of tiny cubes raining down. The airbag deployed. Bang! Like a gunshot. White powder exploding, the bag slamming into Chelsea's face and chest. Chelsea's head snapped forward, then back, whiplash, her forehead hitting something, the steering wheel hard. Everything went white. And then black. Seconds passed, or minutes. Time had no meaning. Chelsea woke. Confusion, disorientation. Where was she? Something white in front of her, soft, deflating. The airbag. Her head was pounding, throbbing, pain, sharp, behind her eyes. Wetness on her face, warm, dripping. She raised her hand and touched her forehead. Her fingers came away red with blood. Flowing down into her eyes, warm, sticky, metallic taste in her mouth. She blinked, trying to clear her vision. Everything was blurry, red tinted. She looked around, trying to understand, trying to remember. The truck. Yes, the truck, it was destroyed. The dashboard cracked, the steering wheel bent, glass everywhere glittering in the dashboard lights. The windshield was gone, just a frame. The glass completely shattered, cold air pouring in. Her driver's side window shattered, gone, just jagged edges, cold wind blowing through. Where was she? What happened to her? Fragments, pieces, the visitor center, the thing running, driving, the creature on the hood. The crash. She crashed. Now she remembered. She blinked again, wiped blood from her eyes, trying to focus, trying to think. Silence. Just the tick of the cooling engine, the wind whistling through the broken windows. Then, the growl. Low, deep, resonating, vibrating through the air. Very close. Chelsea turned her head, slowly, neck stiff, pain shooting down her spine. Looking left through the shattered driver's side window. And it was there. The male creature, 5 feet away, standing in the darkness just beyond the door. Blood on its face, dripping from its mouth, from its forehead. It had survived the crash, survived being thrown from the hood at 50 miles an hour. And it was angry. The eyes locked on her, glowing, feral, furious. The growl grew louder, a rumble that Sarah could feel in her chest, in her bones. It took a step closer, toward the broken window. One clawed hand reaching forward toward the jagged opening, reaching for her. Chelsea sat there frozen, blood running down her face, head pounding, body screaming. The hand got closer, inches from the window frame from her face. She could see the claws, black, curved, sharp as razors, 4 inches long. And behind the male creature, movement. The female, approaching through the darkness, coming. Both of them. And Chelsea trapped in the wreckage, head bleeding, stunned, disoriented. The hand reaching through the broken window, getting closer. Closer. The claws almost touching her face now, inches away. And Chelsea bleeding, broken, terrified. Had nowhere to run. They never found Chelsea Cherise. Her truck was discovered alone in Monument Valley, bent up like a tin can against a formation, the sky pressing down like a lid. No sign of a struggle, no sign of escape, just dust and quiet. It was towed, photographed, logged as evidence, and then returned to her parents. Inside the vehicle, investigators found blood, identified as Chelsea's. 2 teeth were recovered from the ground nearby. Nothing else. No body. No answers. No ending. The case remains open. Her parents are still searching, still hoping, still standing at the edge of a land that has taken others before her and never given them back. On the Navajo reservation, people don't ask too many questions. They don't speak names after dark. And they don't pretend to not to notice the patterns. Another missing person. Another young woman who thought the rules were guidelines instead of warnings. Because the rules were never meant to protect you. They were meant to tell you what lives there. Skinwalkers. They do not rush. They wait. They observe. They listen. They learn how humans move when they feel safe, how they speak when they are tired, how their voices change when fear slips in. They don't just take bodies. They take their time picking them. And when they do, you're done. Out there beneath a sky so wide it makes people feel small. Tonight, something is learning someone's shape. Their posture, the rhythm of their steps, the sound of their voice. Chelsea has joined the ranks. Morning comes again. A young woman with blonde hair pulled into a neat ponytail steps into the park ranger's office, sunlight warming her shoulders. She straightens her posture, smooths her shirt, and smiles, hopeful, nervous, ready for something new. She opens the door. A bell tinkles overhead. Trevor looks up. Hi, I'm here about the park ranger position out in Monument Valley. Behind the desk, Trevor looks up. And then he stands. Yeah, the position's open. Come right in, he says, gesturing toward the inner office. We do have a spot available. And somewhere far away, something is waiting. I hope that you have enjoyed Marked. I had a lot of fun writing it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Tara. So glad you liked it. Hope you loved. Diane, Pamela, Shirley, Amy. Oh, good, Palm. Right. All right, everyone. Tomorrow night, we're back on Paranormal Files Live, continuing case number 8, the Winchester Mystery House. And then Thursday night, the Crimson Queen continues. I was writing it today, and I was just getting cold chills. I love you all. If you think Bryn scared you, no, she didn't. Oh, everyone sleep tight tonight. And remember, if anyone speaks your name outside, don't answer it. Love you all. See you tomorrow night.